Dear parents, it's my pleasure to welcome you to our update on our first year's transition from primary to post-primary school. Normally we would have an evening here in the school where the senior leadership team would give a presentation and take questions from you. Unfortunately, we're unable to do that this year. However, we felt it was important to not let the opportunity pass to provide you with an important update on your child's year group. It has been an unusual and unique start to your child's post-primary education. There have been challenges and difficulties in starting post-primary education during this pandemic. However, we have to express our thanks and our gratitude to you for how your children have adapted and managed during this once-in-a-generation challenge. As a year group, they have settled well into school life and have risen to the challenges put before them, and we are incredibly proud of their resilience and determination. I would like to express my thanks to our teachers and especially their year head, Mr. McMahon, for the work he has put in to ensuring a smooth introduction to our school for these students. This year, Mr. McMahon, our first year head, and I will take you through some of the key points and look to paint a picture for you about how the year has gone so far for our first years. I'd like to thank everyone who submitted a topic to us for inclusion on this presentation. Today, I want to relate to you how well our first year students have settled and managed the transition from primary to post-primary, and to update you on some of the events that have enabled this important transition. We will look at how teaching and learning has taken place both in the school and during the school closure. We will also look at how the school has catered for student well-being in the context of first year before our year head, Mr. McMahon, provides an update on his work with our first year students. We know that this is a time of enormous change for first year students. In addition to the added burden of starting second level during a once-in-a-generation pandemic, they have also had to adapt to the normal challenge of a new school building, new friends, new teachers, new subjects, and a new timetable. They, along with the rest of our school, have had to adapt to the measures we have taken to protect our school and limit the potential spread of COVID-19. We have to commend the way our first-year students have adapted to their new surroundings, their classes and routine, and the feedback from our teachers has been very positive indeed. We know that one of the issues that emerged early in the school year in relation to first years was the weight of the school bags. Now, this was largely due to the unavailability of school lockers, which was one of the measures we undertook to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in our school. One of the main issues that emerged was that some students were carrying the full complement of books for the entire school day, plus the relevant materials for each class. To alleviate part of the problem, we purchased a set of class-based books for a number of subjects. We also provided some guidance with compiling a schedule to organise their day. We hope that these measures have been useful and have helped to overcome some of the early issues. This year, as part of our plan for reopening, we moved to 1-hour classes, initially for this school year, and we will be engaging with all partners in the school community to establish if this is something we might continue into the future. The normal school day of 9 40-minute class periods was reduced to 6 hour-long classes per day, with the exception of Friday. In addition, we introduced a 1-hour lunch break in order to facilitate students who wish to travel home for lunch. The hour-long classes have resulted with less movement during the school day, with students voicing a very positive view on the longer class periods. Our classrooms were also reconfigured to comply with Department of Education guidelines and to ensure that there is adequate spacing between students in our classrooms. In our classrooms, all our desks are separated by protective screens, and our students wear masks for the entire time that they are inside the classroom. As you're aware, from January we moved to a position of remote learning, and the first years are engaging very well with this new learning environment. We will provide you with a report in mid-March which will outline to you as to how your child has engaged with the remote learning process. If there is any student who has not engaged with remote learning, we encourage them to contact us immediately to discuss this matter. In January, we carried out a survey relating to the remote learning environment. We received some very important feedback, which may be of interest to you and which is displayed on the screen. These point to a very positive engagement between students and teachers alike. We realise that this is very difficult to maintain, and so we encourage students to take a well-deserved break over the midterm. Here in Coláiste Chiaráin, we believe that students learn best when they feel cared for and when they feel part of a community. And so we aim to provide a curriculum which educates our students how to take care of their physical, emotional, mental and spiritual health. Our wellbeing programme at Junior Cycle includes health education, physical education, as well as social, personal health education, or SPHE. In these classes, students are given the opportunity to develop the skills, knowledge and attitudes necessary for them to develop ownership and awareness over their own well-being. This year we also provided a book on well-being entitled Nurture for Wellbeing as part of our welcome pack for our first year students. This book was provided free of charge and complements the work being done in our wellbeing classes. We also ran events this year which aim to promote a sense of well-being, inclusion and belonging in our school. For example, our Christmas Wellbeing Day brought some Christmas cheer to the school after a challenging few months. In November, we celebrated Pride Week for our LGBTQIA students and staff, as well as a day in which we celebrated people with different abilities in our school, which took place in December. Our Yearhead team has run virtual assemblies in our school in order to keep students informed and involved in the various events and issues in our school. Finally, in relation to wellbeing, our care team meets once a week to discuss specific issues which may be impacting on the well-being of our students. Our care team is made up of our senior leadership team, our chaplain, our guidance team, as well as yearheads who may wish to discuss specific issues in relation to our first year students. All these measures help us to work towards meeting our students' needs in a proactive and timely manner. Thank you for taking the time to tune into this presentation. And in the next section of this presentation, Mr. McMahon will outline how he has worked with our first year students so far this year and the various events that have taken place.
Hi, Mr. McMahon here, first year Yearhead. We are delighted with how first year students have settled into Coláiste Chiaráin. Adapting to new routines is never easy, and this has been made even more challenging by the COVID pandemic. That said, school management, teachers and GLUE students have been working hard to make the life of first year students as normal as possible. Since our first meeting on the basketball courts way back on a warm September day that ended with a nice refreshing ice cream, we have been working to instill certain attributes in our first years. Attributes such as punctuality, work ethic, good behaviour and having pride in their school and community. We also pride ourselves in providing a holistic experience outside of the classroom by providing students with a number of community-based activities. The first of these events was a 10k hike from school to Castledown House and back. Whilst in Castledown Estate, we hiked the grounds, we stopped for lunch, and the first years played rounders, which was organised by the GLUE students. The history department organised a fantastic archaeological dig experience which took place in the school grounds. The GLUE students organised table quizzes and a candy cane surprise for Halloween and are already hard at work at the next first year event. Finally, one of the highlights of the school year so far was the Wellbeing Day organised on the day of the Christmas break. This was a fun-filled day of fancy dress, quizzes, movies, treats and most importantly, hot chocolate. A cornerstone of Coláiste Chiaráin is our student leadership programme. Class captain elections are an example of promoting student leadership and provides a unique opportunity for student voice in gaining feedback on ways that we can help. For example, to reduce the weight of the first year bags. Work is ongoing to fix any of these issues that have been raised by students. We are very happy with the feedback so far and we hope that another round of elections can happen soon so more students can get the opportunity to take on leadership roles. Our class captains so far have been Tara Good and JJI in 1A1, Scott Morahan and Charlie Flanagan in 1A2, Tara Mooney and Rosie O'Connor in 1A3, and Heaven Anadozi and Matthew Castanede in 1A4. Thank you for your work so far. A vital part of keeping students informed of upcoming events and general school procedures is our school assemblies. They have been hindered in a major way as students cannot congregate as a whole year group inside the school. Assemblies have taken place as Google meetings in the same way that live classes take place. This has allowed us to address the congregation issue and it also provides students with an opportunity to ask questions. Information is also dispensed through the all first year Google Classroom. All first years are a part of this classroom and I would strongly advise students to keep an eye on this class for helpful advice and tips such as how to improve your remote learning experience and other important announcements. In summary, We are very pleased with how first year students have integrated into Coláiste Chiaráin. First year students' smooth transition is very evident every lunchtime when you take a stroll out towards the back of the school. There you will see the basketball courts and the football field alive with excitement and enthusiasm of predominantly first year students. This is far from what would have normally been seen in previous years, especially during the cold autumn and winter months, but it is a very welcome sight. I would like to congratulate you for getting out there and enjoying the fresh air no matter the weather, and I wish you a continued success in Coláiste Chiaráin. Thank you.